I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers fade as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peaceful state I'll stay.
Hey there, welcome back to the A Course in Miracles in Practice podcast,
You made it to lesson 204.
which honestly feels like a big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
204, that's commitment or stubbornness. Either way, we respect it.
Right. Whether you're brand new or hanging in here every day, we're really glad you're here.
Today we're reviewing lesson 184. The name of God is my inheritance. This one dives deep into how naming, labeling, and identifying with the world keeps us from recognizing what we truly are.
And if you've ever caught yourself labeling someone 5 seconds into meeting them or deciding a situation was bad before it even happened, you're in good company.
We've been there. And we'd love to hear how this one hits for you. If you've got a question, a story, or even a reaction like, what does that even mean?
Email us at ACIM@theworldharmonyproject.org or find us on TikTok at The World Harmony Project.
All right, let's get into it.
Lesson 204. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. Reviewing lesson 184, the name of God is my inheritance. God's name reminds me that I am his son, not slave to time, unbound by laws which rule the world of sick illusions, free in God, forever and forever one with him. The Course really digs into how our minds almost instinctively just chop up the world by naming. You know, you label a chair or a tree or maybe a problem and bam, suddenly it's separate, it's distinct, it's like it's disconnected from everything else and importantly from us, like constant mental filing.
It's incredibly automatic, isn't it? You wake up and the mind just kicks in, oh, good morning, or ugh, terrible sleep, maybe this day is going to be stressful. And these aren't just fleeting thoughts. Just the other day, I was standing there in the kitchen, trying to get breakfast sorted, and this tension just landed in my shoulders. Out of nowhere, it felt like. And before I even knew what was up, my mind just went, okay, this day, it's going to be hard. It didn't feel like I chose the thought. It felt like I discovered it was true.
And the Course is asking us to look right at that mechanism, that constant naming, labeling, how it sort of locks in this illusion of separation. But then right there, the Course offers this really profound counter idea. God's name is my inheritance.
Yeah.
It's pointing towards, well, the gift of something that can't be named, something totally whole, an identity that isn't broken up by categories or, definitions that rely on contrast. And that line we just read about the world of sick illusions, it can sound a little jarring maybe, but the Course uses that phrase to talk about our perceived reality, the one we build based on separation, lack, conflict, instead of the boundless unity and love that it says is actually real.
Right, so the idea isn't that fragmentation is what we're supposed to inherit. That's kind of the world's deal, isn't it? Defining us by our bodies, making us feel like we're just victims of time, or that our worth depends on what others think. The Course seems to say, nope, that's not your true inheritance. That's just the limited package the world offers.
Exactly right. And the Course brings in this concept of the ego that believes in separation, that actually thrives on it. And that's what creates what you called that pitiful name tag identity. I'm anxious, I'm always late, I'm successful, or I'm failing. But the Course is gently saying, look, your real self, it just can't be squeezed into those little boxes.
What's really helpful, I think, is that the Course gets that we have to use the world's names.
Yeah.
Practically speaking.
Yeah.
We need to call a table to function, right? We call people by their names.
Of course.
But the key thing is, we're not supposed to believe those names are the final word, the ultimate truth. Behind every label, everything we point to, there's just another aspect of this boundless reality.
Yeah, exactly. Use the names, absolutely, but don't be deceived by them. That's the invitation. Remember that the actual reality, the truth underneath it all, shares this one name, the name of God, which just means, one source, one being. And we're all intrinsically part of that, still connected.
Which really leads to a pretty big question, doesn't it, for everyday life? Is it actually possible to handle the day-to-day stuff using names, using our phones, going to work, making dinner, while also holding this awareness that everything, absolutely everything, comes from that one source, that one inheritance, that single unified life?
That is the core question. And maybe a really practical place to start is just noticing Noticing that automatic reflex to label and divide things up. You know, the moment we think, oh, that's annoying, or that person is so difficult, or even about ourselves, I'm such a mess today. Right then, in that moment, we're kind of buying into the world's inheritance, the fragmented one. And the amazing thing the Course suggests is, right then, a different one can be chosen instantly.
Okay, so a concrete step could be take a breath and just wonder for a second, what would it actually feel like to respond from that other identity, the one we share with God, with wholeness? Or what if I just let that person be for a moment without slapping a label on them? Or even just for a breath, experience myself without a name, without a definition.
And look, if that sounds hard or maybe even a bit weird, that's totally okay. It's natural. The Course itself says that experience must come to supplement the word. This isn't just about nodding along intellectually. It's not just reciting concepts. It's about a shift in feeling, a shift in perception. And that grows with practice.
Maybe just becoming a little more willing to see something whole in someone else,
Yeah.
beyond the label, or even in ourselves.
That's the process. It's gradual. That's how this name of God starts to gently, almost quietly, take precedence over all the other names we've made up. We start seeing past the surface labels and remembering what we really are, still as God created us, free, unbound, not defined by all those stories. And that actually leads perfectly into a question we got from a listener. Let me read it. I carry a lot of baggage from my past, dealing with racism, body shaming, sadness for not fulfilling my career and financial goals. Is this lesson saying these are my inheritance in the world?
Wow. First off, thank you so much for sharing that. That's incredibly open and honest. And your question, it just perfectly captures the challenge we're exploring here, doesn't it? So let's be really clear. The Course is absolutely not saying that your suffering or the racism, the body shaming, the disappointments, these very real, painful experiences are your true inheritance. No. Those experiences, that heavy baggage, that's part of the world's story. That's the world's narrative. Those are the boxes, the labels that the world offers up. And understandably, we accept them sometimes because they feel so incredibly real and carry so much weight.
They feel definitive.
Exactly. But what Lesson 204 and 184 are inviting you and all of us to recognize is something completely different. Your true identity, the one that exists beyond all that personal history, beyond all those labels. That's what the Course points to with the name of God. It's describing this unchanging core, your essence, which is inherently free, totally whole, and crucially, completely untouched by the world's judgments or any limits we perceive. So yes, the baggage you mentioned, that is the inheritance of the world's way of seeing things. But your true inheritance, according to the Course, it's freedom from all that baggage. It's realizing that underneath every single one of those boxes, every painful memory, every hurtful message society sends, your core self is still there, untouched, whole. So this lesson isn't about brushing your experiences under the rug or pretending they didn't happen or don't hurt. It's about understanding that at the deepest possible level, those experiences don't define who you actually are. And for you, or really for anyone who feels the weight of these kinds of labels, maybe we can walk through a few steps. A practical way to start, unpacking those boxes and reconnecting with that true inheritance. How about this? First step, just acknowledge the pain in the boxes. Maybe sit quietly for just a few minutes and consciously, gently, name those specific stories or labels you're carrying. You mentioned racism, body shaming, disappointment. Name them and just notice the feelings that come up. No need to fight them or judge them. Just observe. Okay, this is here.
Yeah, just letting it be seen without judgment. That's huge.
It really is. Then step 2, recognize these labels are part of the world's story. Remember what Lesson 184 teaches. The world gives out names and meanings that create separation. These labels you feel, they're part of that system. They reflect that worldly way of thinking, not your true self. Third step, pause and quietly affirm the lesson's review line. Just deliberately repeat it to yourself. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. Let the words kind of sink in, not forcing it, just letting them remind you of this deeper identity beyond the stories.
Letting them offer a different perspective.
Exactly. Okay, step 4. Practice stepping back from the labels in daily life. This is ongoing. When you notice that thought popping up, I'm not good enough, or my past holds me back, or whatever the label is, try gently affirming, maybe just internally. Okay, that's the story the world tells. It's not actually who I am. It's like a little mental nudge, a reframe.
A gentle redirection, yeah.
Step 5. Create moments of stillness and presence. even tiny ones. Maybe dedicate just a few minutes each day to sit quietly, no agenda, or maybe a short meditation. And in that time, intentionally focus on the feeling, even just imagining the feeling of being free, unconstrained by history or body or labels, just being.
Connecting with that sense of spaciousness.
Yeah, that's it. Step 6, invite compassion for yourself and maybe for others too. Realizing that, gosh, everyone is carrying their own set of these metaphorical boxes. Doesn't make your pain any less real. But sometimes seeing that shared human tendency to label and get caught in stories, it can open up a little space for forgiveness, for understanding.
I understand we're all kind of in the same boat with this.
Right. And finally, step 7, seek support if you need it. Seriously. Unpacking really deep wounds, heavy baggage like racism or long-held shame, that can be really hard work. Sometimes having external support, a good friend you trust, a therapist, maybe a spiritual guide can make all the difference. You absolutely don't have to do this alone.
That's such an important point. Reaching out is strength. And please remember, this whole process, letting go, it's gradual. It's not like flipping a switch. The course is really gentle guidance, leading us back step by step, sometimes breath by breath, to our true inheritance. You are not defined by what happened or by the labels you feel stuck with. You're defined by this unchanging love and freedom that you share. So thank you again for joining us for this deep dive today. It really is quite something, isn't it? What can start to shift when we just begin to loosen our grip, even a little, on all those labels we carry around?
It truly is. It really feels like peeling back layers, getting closer to this authentic part of ourselves that was always there, always free, completely unaffected by whatever names we or the world try to stick on ourselves or anyone else.
So if anything we talked about today resonated or maybe even felt a bit challenging or unsettling, we genuinely do want to hear about it.
Yeah, please reach out. You can email us at acim@theworldharmonyproject.org.
Or you can find us over on TikTok at The World Harmony Project. We'll catch you next time.
I woke up to a miracle today.